it's Laura Burns, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to install Excire on your computer and how to register it in Lightroom, as well as a little bit on how it works as a Lightroom plugin. And first, I would recommend that if you have Lightroom open to go ahead and close it because installation will go faster that way. You can close it for the Excire installation process or continue to use it, but I'm going to go ahead and follow my own advice and close it out. I don't want to save a backup this time, so I can simply close Lightroom, and then I'm going to bring up the file where I downloaded the Excire installer. Then here I will just open that, and it's pretty much the same installation process here as in other programs, nothing new. And in the window, you can see the licensing information that you'll accept in order to install Excire. And then at the end, it shows which version of Excire you have already downloaded if you have previously done so. So for example, maybe you downloaded the test version or a previous version of Excire, and you'll see that here. And then Excire will update, so just click this install button and the installation will begin. And it will go pretty quickly. And lastly, just click the finished button and you are done. Excire has now uploaded to where you chose during the installation process. So either it installed in your system drive by default, or you can specify the drive you want Excire to download to. I will basically do that and then show you where, for example, my Excire program is located. But we will do that in a moment. For right now, we can close this window and then open up Lightroom. And now that we are done with installation, we will go ahead and turn to registration so that you can use your Excire program. And in order to register, go to the File tab in Lightroom on the top left-hand side, and then go down and click on Plugin Manager. Then you will first get a selection of all the plugins that you have already installed, and here you can see that Excire is included. And before we begin the registration, I want to just quickly run through the different drop-downs and show you where you can find some useful information. So here under the Update tab, you can see which version of Excire you are using, and you can manually check to see if there is an updated version. Here under Settings, it is basically the settings you can choose in regards to initialization, and there will be another separate tutorial on that topic, so for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and skip over this tab for now. And the License tab is where you put in the license key that you received when you registered for Excire, and for this tutorial, I will type in the information that I have. And now your information is registered and the confirmation will appear in this window, and it will show you which version of Excire you have registered. In my case, that is the Pro version. Here under the Status tab, you can see some general information about Excire and the installation. So for example, where the installation file in respect to the Lightroom plugin can be found. And as I already mentioned, you also have the option to install Excire in a drive of your choosing. So for example, mine is in Drive D, and here it is under the Lightroom plugin. It is totally up to you where you install Excire during the installation process. Excire will automatically connect to the plugins in Lightroom, so you don't have to worry about that yourself. Here is the link to the Excire website. Here is the version that you have downloaded, and of course, if you have already registered, here you will see that Excire is active. In these last two tabs, you will probably not have to deal with regularly. The Plugin Author Tools here is for when you have developed a plugin yourself, so I'm going to skip this one. And then Log Files is useful for when you're experiencing problems in Excire. If you do have an issue, you can send an error report to the Excire support team, and then they will help you out quickly. So that was basically the installation and registration of Excire. To conclude, here are a couple of notes. First, here are the minimum system requirements that are notable when you want to see if you can use Excire with your system. There are versions in English and in German. Here again it shows the current version and then the minimum requirements. And I think that most people who want to use Excire will meet all of those. So first you must have a multi-core processor with 64-bit support. Here are the operating systems that Excire runs on. So very important for those of you who don't have the Lightroom Cloud version or an Adobe subscription, you can use Excire just as well with the standalone version of Lightroom. And actually after version 5, you can use Excire the exact same way as you would use it in the Adobe Cloud version. You need at least 4 gigabytes of memory, and here we just have a breakdown of the storage, so some of it is for installation. And then the rest really just depends on how big your Lightroom catalog is. To add, you can use Excire on up to 3 computers, and these computers can have different operating systems. So if you have a Windows desktop PC and a MacBook, you can use Excire on both of them no problem. Your purchase of an Excire license can be installed not only on versions of Windows or on versions of Macs, but in principle it can be installed on both of them at the same time if you need it. Also very important, you don't need an internet connection for Excire to work, and Excire is not a cloud application. It is located entirely on your computer. So for example, I'll show you my catalog where I have my Excire. And here I have the Lightroom catalog, and in the same place I have the catalog with the same name and its own extension, which is XCAT. And that is the Excire catalog that contains all the information that Excire deposited, and then everything that is necessary to sync and to function with Lightroom. All of this is located completely and locally on your computer.